The game depicted is Risk, Africa Edition, a competitive strategy-based board game focused on the struggles of Okonkwo and his village resisting the new beliefs and faiths brought in by the white man.
The game begins by having two players take on the roles of either the Igbo tribe or the white missionaries. When playing as the Igbo, the player receives 10 extra armies, giving them a strong lead over the colonists. However, the game can be radically changed because of the colonists' ability to slowly gain more armies over time, similar to how the white men act in the story, where over time they gain more followers and shift the balance of power.
There are opportunities for up to 6 players to play the game, each with 20 armies each. That is for the Igbo tribe, and 10 armies for the colonists. Based on whoever is playing, the teams are equally divided. For example, with 6 players, there would be 3 players for the colonists and 3 for the natives. If there is an uneven number, such as 3 players,
2 would go to the Igbo tribe, and each receiving 35 armies, and 1 colonist player receiving 50 armies.
When playing the game in teams, the colonists elect one person as a commander, or the person in charge. The commander oversees the entire game and takes control over all of the armies. Subsequently, they are the only ones who can move the armies. The other team members act as advisors, guiding the commander and making decisions and helping win the game. The natives, on the other hand, are in control of their own armies and act only concerning themselves and their armies. However, if given the chance, the native team can confer amongst themselves and make a strategy to attack together. Also, the colonists can take as many turns as there are players. For example, the colonists take 3 turns if there are 3 players on the native team. To follow that, dice are really important. Much like the novel, elements of chance do exist in the game. Not every victory comes without its losses. The players then take turns picking territories until all their usable pieces are on the board. The game is ended when one player loses all their armies and cannot compete.
After finishing the setup, we move on to the real gameplay and how to strategize to win. For every turn, every player will receive a new army. For the natives, they will receive a new army every time they occupy 3 countries. For every 2 countries, the colonists acquire a new army.
The game is started when 2 players roll a dice. Whoever has the highest dice will start the game. Once the game has started, the first player places their army on whatever country they choose.
A few moments later.
Tanzania!
okay, first of all, it's Tanzania, and I've already taken that spot.
Fine, I'll go with that one, I guess.
No.
Moving on, the name of the game is attacking the other team.
I thought it was called Risk, Africa Edition.
In other words, you can attack the other team and attack their armies in order to conquer the countries that they control, such as Chad.
Yes! Finally! Yes!
You can attack the country as many times as you want with your independent turn. Before attacking, however, you will need to announce your attack to everyone playing.
I hope you know what I'm about to do.
You could also spend your turn by resting and take an extra turn to strategize.
Yes, thank you. I'll rest. Wait.
No, thank you. I'm now going to attack Libya.
Never feel pressure to attack if you are not required to attack.
By golly, I got 2 6s.
I got snake eyes.
Well, that sucks.
When attacking, choose how many armies will be attacking a specific country at a time. Don't forget, you still need 1 army in each territory at a time. You could use 4 armies from a territory, but be sure to leave 1 behind to defend your land. Next up is the dice. You will roll 3 dice depending on the size of your troops. The defending players roll the same number of dice for the number of troops in your territory, maxing out at 2. But the dice are for the defending players. Match the highest attacking dice with the highest defending dice, and the second highest attacking dice with the second highest defending dice. If you only have 1 defending dice, then just only match it with the highest attacking dice. Depending on whichever dice is higher, an army will be removed from a territory. If the defending dice is higher, then one army is removed from the attacking territory, and if the attacking dice is higher, then the defending team loses an army in their territory.
Should you terminate the defending team from the territory, then you need to occupy that territory with the same amount of armies you used to take out the territory. For example, if you use 2 armies to take out the occupying territory, you would put 2 armies in the new territory.
One eternity later.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for.
We have now reached the conclusion of this ridiculously long game.
I am going to attack Chad.
With which country?
All of them.
Chat, 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 chat. Program removed!
One player always wins a game. There is never a possibility of a draw or a tie. The winner is the person who can take over or defend Africa while eliminating the other army or making the colonist religion dominant throughout all of Africa.
Whether you take over or defend Africa depends on your roles in the game. The Igbo tribe are those defending, much like in the novel, where the tribe fears the British invasion and is paranoid about the susceptibility of their culture.
To follow that, the colonists are the ones who are trying to take over Africa by spreading their beliefs throughout the countries and trying to refine the indigenous people. This is the only way you can win.
The theme of the game is colonialism and its negative effects on society. Throughout the game, you are trying to take over the continent of Africa, and even if you happen to win, you had to annihilate another whole team to achieve this victory. The game is symbolic of the religious wars fought in the novel, not just your average typical war and bloodshed game. We had a lot of fun, and we hope you do too. Thank you so much for playing our game.
You're welcome!
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you've got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiancé didn't show. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. Roll out of bed, Mr. Coffee's dead. The morning's looking bright. And your shrink ran off to Europe and didn't even write. And your husband wants to be a girl. Be glad there's one place in the world where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
Moving on, the name of the game is attacking the other team.
I thought it was called... Wait, restart it?